So we were in a very, very deep discussion about technical difficulties, and then we had an epic conversation about buyers and getting the compound effect. And I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we do this in the Mega Momentum all the time. We teach you guys how to go live. We teach you guys how to use tech and get that exposure and get out there and build that authority. It's helpful if you press the go live button.
Yeah, very.
Right? Oh, dude, that was awesome.
And dude,
we were jamming. Guys, we were jamming. You said on amazing stuff.
Well, you want to talk about like just like ad-libbing and you being able to like step up on a stage. And that's something that, I think I hope in life I perfected, because we had some technical difficulties, and then our Harrison Lilly was supposed to be on the call on the show this morning. He had some difficulties, so we were just going. I was finally starting to get in the groove. We were 5 minutes in the conversation. I got thrown onto the stage, and we realized, and I'm even thinking to myself, I don't see any comments, man. This is odd.
I know. Where's the comments? Where's all the comments? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Oh my God. Anyways, guys, you're gonna mess up. You're just gonna have to ad lib. That was freaking hilarious, man.
That is. When you paused me, I was like, "Hey, why is he shutting me down right now?" It's
like, I'm on a roll. That's the time, I'm on a roll. Don't stop me. I'm like, you're not live.
Oh, lordy. Man, so what? So guys, look, this is real estate. This is business. Anything in general in life or business, man, shit happens. Okay, and you have to always be ready to go. One thing is that we said we're about 21 minutes late for our live, and you say, you know what, we're still gonna do this.
Oh my God, that was freaking hilarious, man.
Yeah, man, roll with it. You're right, dude. So. What's up, Dustin?
All right, so let's get back into this conversation. We're talking about buyers, right? We're talking about the compound effect, something that we want to be able to, like, we call it momentum, right? And guys, comment below, chat below, say good morning, say, hey, how you doing? Today is a bit of an open challenge session. So we're going to be talking about a number of different things. So make sure that you put your challenges in your comments below. Anything that you want to talk about, it's open season. Let's do it. All right. And we were talking about the compound effect. Morning, Ben. How you doing, brother? The compound effect. So we call this momentum, right? Compound. Exactly. When you're compounding on one thing, like compounding listings, compounding closings, compounding contracts, you are building momentum in your business, right? And we were actually just talking about one of the things that we teach is, this month's contracts, is next month's paychecks, right? And making sure that you're trying to accumulate as many viable contracts as you possibly can, because your conversions, you're going to have a conversion, you're going to have a law of averages on the number of contracts that you have and how many that you actually end up converting. But you have a much better chance of actually converting something if they're under contract, as opposed to, what am I going to do this month, or how many clients do I actually have? Grab bagging out of your list, or, being a Pop-Tart agent when the phone rings and you pop up and out of your chair. And it's like, sure, I'll open the house door for you. I'll show you this property. Be a professional door opener, as opposed to a professional real estate agent with people that are under contract with your professional services. That's important.
No, for sure, man.
All that, Dad.
Yeah, we were all. So I tell you what I thought about, dude, and it's something that I coached up on for years. Is that hey, has anyone ever taken a hose and filled up a bucket? Mm-hmm. Okay, and so that's exactly what you're doing. Is you're filling up your bucket. What happens if your bucket gets a quarter of the way full and you turn the water off? It never fills up. Okay, and what happens? Same thing. If you turn the water off and turn it on, and think about this: if you turn the water on as a trickle, it's going to slow. Let's talk about a 50-gallon drum, okay? And the water's trickling from the hose pipe. It's going to take a long time to fill up. You put that hose pipe on full blast, okay? That's your lead generation, guys. Your lead generation is putting your hose pipe on full blast. You ever heard the term drinking from a fire hose? Mm-hmm. Same thing. So the thing I always like to talk about with this is that what happens the moment the 50-gallon drum gets full of water? Does the water come spilling, pouring out, and rushing? And no, hell no, it trickles. It never shoots from the drum 50 feet in the air and everybody gets soaking wet. No, it literally trickles over slowly. and just continues to trickle, And that's, guys, that's lead generation. That's working with buyers. If you don't ever fill up the drum or the bucket, okay, and if you expect that bucket, the only way that bucket is going to explode over is you knock it over. But guess what happens when you knock that bucket over? You got to start the hell over again. And that's what the people do in lead generation. Okay, consistency is the key. Momentum. Okay, and no matter how much you could be the biggest badass lead generating machine in the world, and guess what? It's still only going to be a trickle. And you got to understand that. So, guys, being results focused is great. Okay, and that's what you got to continue to build upon. That's the momentum. Your lead generation is your hose pipe filling your bucket, which you have to put in your head right now that it's only going to trickle over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's not just that. It's the concept of constantly having to relaunch your business, right?
Absolutely.
If you don't have a steady pipeline, you're at square one. You're at day zero, over and over and over and again. And I don't know about, if there's anything that makes me want to shoot my head in myself in the head, it's like having to restart over and over and over again and not carrying momentum forward, stacking those wins and stacking those contracts and stacking those closings. We're in a seasonal business, right?
Very seasonal.
So easy for us. We're entering the spring market right now, right? Like we're getting in most areas that we coach in, the spring market is the hot market, right? Yep. So we're entering the spring market, and the classic mistake that agents make in this market is it's raining deals. I'm out there and I'm slinging houses. Oh my God, I got a closing over here and I got a client over here and open house did this and I had a hat trick over here and oh my God, this is amazing. But they forget to keep their pipeline full and they forget to work their list. And so in the summertime, so after their pipeline is dried up, because guys, if you're not filling that funnel constantly with new opportunities, it will dry up, right? And it'll dry up. Once it's dry, you have no more deals coming in, and all of a sudden, well, that's when agents say, oh, well, it's summertime. That's nice. The money is raining in right now. All the contracts are starting to close right now, and the paychecks are coming in. But at the end of the summer, they're not only is their pipeline dry, but their paychecks are dry. Right. And so that's when they go into panic mode, and they're I better get to work now. And they go to work, and now they're in restart mode because they have no momentum.
Yep. I'll tell you, man, a long time ago, one of my coaches mentioned to me is that every day in this career, you're hired in the morning and you're fired at night.
Yeah.
Okay. And a big thing we coach up on inside Mega Momentum is like literally if you put your head on your pillow that night, okay, and go to sleep and you didn't do your job. So let's talk about that, Dustin. It's a great conversation. What is the job of a real estate agent? I mean, we can define that so many different ways. And I think a lot of people don't really know what their job is.
You know what? At the end of the day, for me, it's always been delivering experiences. Yeah. Really, really amazing experiences. And because we do so many different things for different people, and they have different needs and different whys, different, motivators. That our job is quite varied as far as what we are doing to serve people. So, at the end, I always teach people, and I always talk about this. Like it's always about delivering an experience.
Yeah.
Always, creating a raving fan, right? That's really what our job is. But when you unpack all of that, that's the result, right? All the different.
That is the result, which is a little different.
The result, right? The result, but. The job, you have to unpack the result. Okay, so we deliver experiences. Great, Dustin, you deliver experiences, yay, right? But how do you deliver experiences? Now you got to break it down. You got to break it down to all the different things that we need to do to be able to deliver an experience. Well, one of the first things we got to do is we got to find a client.
Yep, and that's what I was going to touch upon, dude. Because we have there's different definitions of this job, and I'll tell you what I've learned as far as your actual job, and you just nailed number one: lead generation. That's number one part of your job. Number two is, guys, you know what number two is? Write contracts. Negotiate contract, go to closing. Those four things. But I'll tell you the interesting part what Dustin just said about creating experience. Lead, you got to find the buyer, and then you write the contract and all that. Which you kind of mentioned, I think, Dustin, is kind of like almost after the job is finished. Create those raving fans. You think about it, do you really create raving fans with people you haven't done business with?
No, not at all.
No,
Not at all.
or if
No.
they're a family member or something directly related or close to you. But yeah,
Yeah.
so that's really, if we unpack this, like you said, man, you lead generate, find those people. You got to find these people. And you know what the neat part is, guys? I'll tell you, in the years of doing real estate, some of my best friends right now are people that I didn't even know existed on this planet until I sold them a home.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're some of my best friends that I talk to weekly. Okay, because we did our job properly, and then we created the raving fans, and then now it's game on. Really interesting concept, huh?
Yeah, it is an interesting concept, and I would agree with you. Like, the result that you're looking for is creating that raving fan, but when you really unpack exactly what our job is, it's to meet new people and to talk to them about real estate. That's pretty much about it, right?
Lead generate.
It's all lead generation. And when you look at like you and I have both coached thousands of people, right? Like, and built successful businesses, and the single biggest point of failure that I see in a real estate agent's career is the inability to, or the unwillingness to meet new people and to talk to them about real estate. That is pretty much and the basic skill of actually converting them into the next step, into an appointment, right?
Basic skill, though.
That's
Basic.
That's the point of failure. That's the point of failure.
Well, if you meet enough people, I tell people this all the time, you could be the worst salesperson in the world, the worst negotiator. You could be such an introvert that you're even scared to move, like to go leave your home.
Yeah.
Okay. If you talk to enough people, which I know is tough, guys. If you have that type of personality, it's tough. But if you talk to enough people, you will accidentally sell 10 homes a year.
It's the law of averages, baby.
It's the law of averages. Listen to this one. Real estate is a contact sport. And I'll tell you, man, you take that perception. And guys, so we're actually creating a journal right now, a lead generation journal, where you can track your contacts. Something really important that, I look at the compounding effect of the numbers. And so something we talk about all the time. If you don't even know how many people you have to contact a day, a week, a month to get to the point to where you can pay your bills, step number one, that's wrong, okay? Part of like the plan, part of everything we do is finding out what it takes. Then finding out your basic price point. And then from there, knowing how many people. Because like you mentioned in one of our calls the other day, Dustin, where you said you could be, I think it was our team call, you could be a badass agent. Badass. Like you look at top level as far as lead generation and lead closing, and you're still closing somewhere to 2 to 5%.
Mm-hmm.
And that's considered great. And so, with that said,
a great conversion off of leads is 4 to 5%.
Yeah, if you're at 5, you're godly at that point. Okay? Right. So then think about this, guys, is that when you do lead generation, look, I talked to hundreds of agents about this. I'm saying, well, how many people you talked to today? 2. Well, how many people you talked to this week? 10. Okay, so now if we're going to base this on the law of averages, we're going to truly break your business down to where you see how much money you're going to make. Yes, can one of those 10 convert? But man, if you got to 100 with your 5% conversion rate, you're balling. Okay.
Well, Ev, let's break this down, because we're talking about lead generation, pipeline management, having a full pipeline. Your law of averages are going to be, yours. Everybody's different, right? My conversion ratio is going to be different from Anthony's. Anthony's going to be different from the
Absolutely.
new guy. Everybody's got a law of averages. And case in point, I knew this agent. I trained this agent, and for 2 years, she didn't do any deals. So 2 years, she did like maybe 2 deals in 2 years. And she, like, really, everybody looked at her as like, you have no business being a realtor. You just don't have it. Like, the it of being a realtor is, oh my God. Like, every single time her client would open their mouths, she would get in an argument with them because she would go into defensive mode just simply because she was nervous. Right. And so she had all these things that she had to work through, but she had a very low law of averages, very low conversion rate off of any kind of lead. It doesn't matter if it was Sphere and they were just like, hey, I want to do with you. She would still screw that up, or, let alone having an appointment come in or a Facebook lead or something like that. But she kept on going at it. She kept on building that skill, and she beat her face against her business until it succumbed to her will. And now she's a multi-six-figure agent, simply because she did not give up. She kept on grinding away at the skill. at building the skill to be able to hit those conversions, right?
Well,
And
2 years, man, that's a long time, and a lot of people quit before that.
you know how many people told me to fire her? It's like,
Yeah.
you should fire this person. This person is no good for the business. I'm like, nope. I do not fire people that put their heart and desire into their business. I do not fire people that show up. I do not fire people that are willing to learn, that have an open mind. Yes, she's hurting herself. I get that. But do you know what? There's something there. There is something there. And I respect somebody that puts in effort like that and is willing to beat the shit out of themselves to be able to get there.
Right. Dude,
Like that's a monster waiting to happen. Like you feel it.
with real estate can be very overwhelming, guys. Okay, it's like, and, a lot of people get into real estate, they see so much success. I mean, tell me this: how many people on Facebook share their failures in real estate? It's so you look at people in the business, you're like, holy shit, Bob, Susie, Frank are crushing it. Why am I not crushing it? Okay, it's only because Bob, Frank, and Susie are sharing their wins. No one's going to say, hey, had a shitty day in real estate, lost three. I mean, we kind of do that a little bit. But, they don't really share it as much. And it's not, if they do share that, the way we deal with society nowadays, it's like, people ignore that, okay? So looking at other agents, because look, I'm going to tell you, if you're a real estate agent and some people, it just clicks and they're instant success and like, holy shit, what are they doing? But for the most part, guys. Right, for the most part, but we could talk about rookie of the year because, like, I'll tell you right now, it's just like, we can talk about that. We could do better than that. But with that said, you judge upon other people, and look, there's a lot of people who struggle in this business, and that's something Dustin and I have been here to help for quite some time. People get over that hump because, like you, man, I've had agents that are on my team that literally didn't sell a home for 6 months, and I struggle internally with that too, man. It's like, what the hell am I as a leader? I'm like, what am I doing wrong for this person? They're showing up to the trainings, they're coming to the meetings, and it's just not clicking. I mean, I just had someone on my team recently was like this in Houston, and great person, great personality, and it just didn't click. And sometimes we got to figure out what exactly is the deep defining thing. And it's so many things. I mean, you could have conversation, top of conversation. So if you're in your business right now and you're struggling, you can't find that one sale. What I tell people sometimes, the more you want something, the more you obsess over something, the further you push it away, And I know that's hard to wrap your head around sometimes, but the fact is that's how life kind of works. It's a really interesting concept, but it's really, the more you focus on it now, building your skill set, getting better at it, learning how to close is so important. So important. And in the words and the way they come out of your mouth.
Well, here's the thing, like people, like, and we're talking about manifestation, right? Like, let's just get
that
real.
part. Absolutely.
Right. So a lot of agents, they'll like, if you're struggling, and here's the thing, if you're struggling right now, reach out to Anthony and I. Right. We've got a coaching. We're actually doing a coaching. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We're doing the second, the second of 3 different series, doing a deep dive on Instagram so that you can fill your pipeline of people that love you and they want to do business right away with you. And it's just a hot client, like walking through your door. We can teach you how to do that on Instagram. It's pretty badass. So we're doing that tomorrow on the coaching. So if you need help, you're struggling, you want some assistance, we can guide you, we can help you, and we would love to do that. So make sure you click on the links for the coaching, which I'm going to have to put into the links in a few minutes. Click on the link in a few minutes when I put it up there, right? We'll get there. Anyway, we want to help you. But we're talking about manifestation, right? So here's the basic law of manifestation. The universe is literally going to deliver what you think about the most, right? So most agents that I know that are struggling, the thing that they're focusing on are the results of a lack of paycheck. The results of the lack of funds, right? So how am I going to pay my mortgage? What's going to happen with this? What's my spouse going to think about that, right? All that kind of stuff. And so you're literally telling the universe doesn't know, like God, universe, or whatever you want to call it, that energy, that entity, the thing that we are in, that we're this soup that we call, existence, it doesn't know your intentions. It doesn't know good from bad. It's energy is energy, and you're putting energy out there. It's going to deliver back to you exactly what you're thinking, right? So if your thoughts are full of negativity and full of disaster and full of failure, the universe is like, oh, is that what you want right now? Okay, here you go on a silver fucking platter. It's going to give it to you in spades. It's going to give it to you. But if you do what Anthony just said and said, okay, don't think about the lack or the bad result that you're going to get. Think instead, I'm going to improve. I'm going to build the skill. I'm going to grow. I'm going to learn how to close. I'm going to learn how to fill my pipeline. I'm going to learn how to convert that pipeline into more opportunities. I'm going to learn how to take every opportunity and amplify that opportunity into many opportunities. I'm going to learn these things. And you put that effort into that mindset. You put that energy out into the universe, and it will literally deliver back to you the results that you're looking for.
Dude, I'll tell you, I'm on Facebook. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, okay? And I see the comments and the post consistently. And right now, the hot topic is multiple offers above asking. My client's not getting the house. I wrote 11 offers. None got accepted. And guys, I'm telling you right now, that is kind of that mindset going in. You're walking in defeated. And granted, I understand this is a real thing. I mean, right now we have an interesting time in real estate. Real estate market's red hot. Okay, but I'll tell y'all one secret about real estate. I've been doing this a long time. This comes in cycles. Okay, this comes in cycles. If you look at this cycle here in particular, we're looking at exactly what happened pre-2008, 2009. Okay, when real estate went crazy, market was flying, and then all of a sudden we hit a bubble. Not to say this is a real estate bubble. I mean, we don't know, what's going to happen. But the fact is, if you're reading, okay, about how every buyer is having trouble finding a home because of, multiple offers above asking. I know in one of your markets that we're selling in, Dustin, what's 100, 200,000 over asking, Okay, you're reading those comments, and then all of a sudden you're manifesting the fact that, okay, I'm going to have trouble with this buyer. So you can do one or two things, okay? You can stop working with buyers if it's that difficult, or you can learn to get better at the conversation. Darren James mentioned, I think it was Darren, or it might have been Aaron, I don't remember who it was in one of our previous podcasts. They talked about, it was Aaron. They talked about calling the listing agent before you have before you send an offer. Huge thing. Where people, think about this. Relationship building. Who here on this call knows most of or majority of the real estate agents in their market personally? Okay, no, I'll tell you. No. And that's a huge problem because people do business with people they know and like. Okay? You do business. It's no different than creating a Raven fan. It's no different than creating the clients. You want to get better at closing or finding a home for your agent, for your buyer? You better have two relationships, okay? One's a badass lender that agent knows, and then you be friends with that listing agent. Right now, there's 500 agents plus that I can call in New Orleans and say, hey, man, look, Bob, it's been a minute, dude. We haven't talked. What's going on? Catch up with him. Bullshit with Bob for a second. Oh, yeah, Bob, I got a buyer, man. Look, they're legit. What can we do here?
Yep.
Okay? Personal relationships, guys. If you're failing at finding your buyers a home, it's not because of the market. It is, don't get me wrong, but there's ways to overcome that. Quit working with buyers or get better at relationship building.
Oh, it's all relationships, man. I don't know how many deals that I got done just simply because I knew the other agent.
Respect.
Let's work together. I know you're going to work hard for your clients, and if you say your clients are gold, then no problem. I trust you. Let's rock and roll. Let's do this.
My lender in New Orleans, dude, is that he's like top 1% in the entire country. Hung Lee with Movement Mortgage. I give him a shout out all the time. He has stage fright like no other, but I want to get Hung on the call soon to kind of you guys can talk to this guy.
Definitely do that.
But when I say, hey, Hung, I'm about to go make this offer, man. Can you call Susie? Oh yeah, I'll call her. I mean, look, it's like butter there, man. It's like it's working, it's flowing. But guys, that's what you got to do. If you're not putting in the work, like I'll tell you, I see it on Facebook right now where you buyer agents are sending listing agents contracts or offers and not even calling them.
Oh my God! That's a classic. It's a bit of a rookie mistake. 100%, you're just a number. You're not a person. They don't care about you. And you lose out on the opportunity to, one, build a relationship, but also to figure out whether or not, guys, by getting into a conversation with a listing agent, especially as a buyer agent bringing in an offer, by getting into a conversation, I know they're not supposed to say things, but man, they say things.
They say things, right?
They
Right,
say
right, right,
things,
right.
right? It's like, oh shit, I better revise this offer. If you want to win, you need to have more conversations. This is just simple, like real
Relationship.
relationships. This is filling your pipeline full of buyers and sellers that want to do business with you, building relationships with agents so that you've got a nice, smooth transaction. Because God knows the shoe's going to be on the other foot and you want to be able to deal with somebody that you know, like, and trust to get the deal done, right? And they want to do exactly the same thing. So relationships are everything in this business.
So
everything.
you want to? So you guys, I have a method, and I stole this from somebody else. I can't remember. Give him credit. I want to say it was a big agent, and maybe Danny Burke in Houston, but I don't know who it was. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you, one I learned a long time ago, and I never did this. So this is something I'm sharing with you guys that I think would be completely innovative at this time. And if you participate in this and crush the next level, so let's just say you're doing 10, 20, 30 transactions a year. Okay, what we focus on time and time and time again, if you're creating the Raven fans, is that you're going to go do things with those buyers or sellers that were your clients. Think about this one. You do 20 transactions a year. At the end of the year, you call all 20 of those agents and you invite them to lunch that you pay for. Okay, now the agent that did this, he would throw a party. Now this guy was doing massive, do somewhere 500 to 1,000 units. He would throw this crazy party for real estate agents at the end of the year or beginning of the new year, and he would literally give away $10,000. Like one agent at that party would win $10,000. You want to talk about every agent, real estate agent out there knowing who the hell you are, loving and wanting to do business with you at that point?
That's Raven fans like on steroids.
With agents. You're bringing a better value to your clients. Not only are you a badass agent, you're a great negotiator, all this, but then you have all these relationships with these other agents.
Yeah.
Think about that with your listings too. I mean, if you built this database of agents, okay, I say this all the time. My coaching clients, I tell them all the time, you are the employer. You are the business owner when you own the listings. And every agent, so let's talk about real estate markets. New Orleans, 6,000 real estate agents. Shreveport, Bossier, 1,500 real estate agents. Dallas, Texas, 25,000. Miami, Florida, 38,000. When you're a badass listing agent, you're a badass business owner, and you just hire 38,000 employees.
Yep.
And that's why I am so laser focused on listings. You're a business owner, guys. And the more you run around with this, you're about. So think about this. If you have all these employees, which we consider, this is a total mental wraparound of the real estate business, okay? And that's what we do. It's kind of go deep, and you get me talking. But I mean, employee party. Your employee party every year is your real estate. All these real estate you did transactions with. You want to talk about gaining momentum in a market, every real estate agent knowing you, every real estate agents coming, maybe joining up with you because, man, like you're a badass. You're inviting people to this. They want to do business with you now. Good stuff.
Think about this. Think about take it to the next level. Right? Once you start applying leverage to your real estate career by bringing on a buyer's agent or a couple agents or becoming a team leader or a business owner, now you do that client party, that raving fan client party for your internal customer, which is agents, and now you're treating the entire database of people that you've done business with huge amount of respect, a huge amount of love, and you're really giving yourself building yourself a lot of authority in your local marketplace, right? And that's going to help you attract agents onto your team, into your business.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like if you're building a team, and it's one thing Dustin and you probably know, we talked about 100 times, and unfortunately you're going to hear it a lot more, is we're building our super team, our global sales team. And so these type of things that we're having conversations with is that, one, not only we know and implement these systems in our business, but the agents who are partnering up with us in our team, we're laying out the blueprint for them also. So they're going to have these same exact things. And the cool part is we're doing this in every damn city in this country. It's going to be fun and interesting. We get this.
Not just this country. We just got approval for the USA and Mexico.
I know. I just shared your post, man. Playa del Carmen, Cancun, Tulum.
You like that?
I like that.
You like that? You like that? That's cool. One of the and we walk the walk, right? So it's not, we do coaching, right? So you see the coaching's on there. If you guys are interested in the coaching, go to the link, check it out, because we'll set you up. We talk about all this stuff at a high level, and we really, really dig deep into your business, help you grow your business as much as we possibly can. And if you're looking for that step up, then we're here for you 100%. So check it out. But we walk the walk. We're not just people that did this 30 years ago, like some of the coaches out there. We're not those people that, I had a system and I sold, 2,000 homes in a year and now I coach for the rest of my life. That's not what we do. We walk the walk. We do this every single day.
And being learning based, you got to. Yeah. It is interesting, man, because I feel like there's times when I've slipped in and out of sales. Okay. Yeah. And, back to getting re-engaged with Mega Momentum, with the Homes and City, the Homes and Beach sales teams. It's lit that fire again, man, to where I'm like, shit, I've read like 7 books in the last 2 weeks, So unfortunately, you guys are going to hear me kind of ramble more and more because I'm just like, but I mean, look, you want to be always being learning based and growing. And then, now, Dustin and I have skin back in the game, man. Not only are we going to be coaching people up, but we're learning as we go, too. I mean, look, we're going to fuck this up also. There's no doubt. There's different things. We've changed 3 or 4 things. I mean, just yesterday, we had a powerful phone call about changing the way our model is ran, And that's what, guys, real estate, I used to say with the internet. Because with real estate, I really got into internet marketing. As you guys know, I've done a lot of Instagram and things like that. But the one inevitable of all internet marketing is change. Same thing with real estate. I mean, real estate, look, this thing's evolving, this thing's changing. Because, look, I'm telling you, right now, we're in a seller's market that's probably been one of the strongest seller markets that I know I've ever seen. Okay?
Never seen anything like this.
Nothing like it. And,
no, and you have to. 40-year veterans that have never seen anything like this.
You have to evolve because guess what? It won't continue this way. Okay? It will shift. And I saw it back in 2007, 8, 9, 10 during that wave. And see, I'll give you an idea about my real estate business. I went after Hurricane Katrina. I had to move to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Okay, and if you guys know anything about Hurricane Katrina, it essentially wiped out an entire city, entire population, over 2 million people. I mean, just like it you couldn't even go into New Orleans for like, I think if I remember correctly, 60, 90 days. Interesting part, I was in the Army at the time, so I was actually on the ground for a long time. I'll tell my story about that everyone to hear it ever. But I was also in real estate. Okay, so I got back into Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Guys, they were just like this market we see right now. We were selling homes 40, 50, 80, 100,000 over asking. Why? Because people needed to buy a house. Now, I'll tell you the really interesting part about that is the SBA was doing small business loans for people to buy these homes with no appraisals. No appraisals.
Wow.
Yeah, you want to talk about interest in real estate market. Okay.
Oh, hey, Anthony, hate to segue, but we actually have a guest who, we got a guest. We got Erica Vincent. So give me a second here. We're going to bring her on in just a second here. She's got a buyer's challenge that she wants us to actually address on the call. So Miss Erica Vincent, how you doing?
What's up?
Hey, what's up?
Good.
Welcome to Mega Mornings. I was chatting with Erica this morning on Facebook Messenger about a buyer situation that she's got, and she wanted to get a little advice. We'll talk about it a little bit and drill into it and see what we can do to help you out. Erica, are you froze? Or are you okay?
It's not Critical Tech Tuesday today for us.
Not Tech Tuesday, Erica. I'm really sorry, but we're gonna have to shut you down. No, I think we're, yep. Sorry, hon. Sorry, hon. Yeah. Sorry.
Today is Tech Challenge Tuesday.
Tech Challenge Tuesday. Man, I'll tell you. Like, oh, wait, hold on. She's back. Is she back? Is she back?
Sorry.
Yep.
There we go. Woo. All right, so Tech Challenge Tuesday. So, Erica, while we have you actually unfrozen, why don't you tell us your challenge, and then we'll dig into it.
Yeah, so I was trying to figure out basically the best way to follow up with this lead that I have. So I got a referral from an agent in my office. She got a call on one of her listings, a sign call, and she sent it over to me because she didn't have time to deal with it. I took it on. I showed this lead a couple of properties with place offer. She's not from this area, so wasn't really familiar with how our market is working, wasn't anticipating how competitive it was going to be, how much over asking places we're going for. So I think it was discouraging for them. And now I'm kind of, I've followed up with them a few times, and her response has been, "I will be in touch if I need anything," basically. So I'm trying to figure out where to go from there.
All right. So the challenge is you've been out on a buyer tour with her. You made an offer. Did you do a buyer contract for just the one property, or do you have them under a contract?
We've got a buyer contract now for 30 days.
Okay, so you're wondering, like, what are the next steps? She's basically said to you that I'll call you if I need you, basically, and you don't want to be chasing her ass all over the place because no one likes to chase people, but you do want to follow up because you don't want to lose the opportunity, but you don't want to be that annoying agent that's bothering them all the time.
Yes, exactly.
Got it. Okay, so that's the challenge.
Well, Eric, I have one question for you. I'd like to ask every buyer or seller. Okay, this is a really, I believe, probably the most powerful question you could ask. Do you have to buy a house, or do you want to buy a house? And so, do you know the answer? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think theirs is more want. They're resting right now. They really want to buy, but the market that they're crazier than our market. That's why they were looking out of town.
Right. And so my advice with that is you put them in the pipeline. I mean, to simply put it. And so tell me, and this is an exploratory question, kind of like a coaching conversation. Tell me how many other approved buyers you have right now.
I've got 5 or 6 that I've been actively working with. Plus, with the spring market coming, I've got a few that are kind of have been in hibernation for a bit that are coming out of the woodwork.
Yep. Put them in the pipeline. That's all you can do at this point. Look at when someone calls you and tells you they want to buy home, especially you just mentioned something that they're renting. First things I'd ask. I mean, a big question I'd ask them is, tell me about your exit on your lease. Can you do it? Are you willing to pay the money? Do you have the money to pay to get out of your lease? If they don't, say, look, I'm here for you. And all you do, like Dustin said, is you continue to have a conversation. You be there for people. A lesson learned a long time ago is that if someone doesn't have to buy a house, and there's a glaring difference, guys. I need y'all to write this down really big. Whenever you're meeting a buyer or a seller, one of the first questions I ask them, and again, I believe it's so powerful because you're asking questions to get ultimately to the solution for them. Do you have to buy a house, or do you want to buy a house? And some people are like, well, what do you mean by that, Anthony? If they have to buy a house, that buyer is essentially telling you, Erica, we're moving because the job, we're moving because the kids need to be in school, we're moving because of whatever it may be. We have to be in a house in the next 30 to 60 days. Game on, let's go. Oh, Erica, I want to buy a house, but we are leasing, we're waiting for this. I mean, look, this is just a rule of thumb. A big thing we used to do is we'd have our whiteboard on our wall inside of our office, and we'd have A, B, C, D buyers. Okay? And those A buyers, 30 days. B buyers, 90 days. C buyers, and then you put the D. And I'll never forget one of my agents, Hannah, was in the office. She had this massive A, B, C, and there was 2 A's, 1 B, I mean, like 40 C's and maybe like 30 D's. And I said, man, what's going on here? She's like, oh, and so what I did, I really messed her up, and this is probably a bad move, but I did it anyway. I said, you know what? You're distracted now. And I went and erased her board. And she was like, oh, I didn't have that. I didn't have a picture of that. I was like, but see, that's what happened is we said, okay, I have all these buyers who really don't want to buy anytime. I feel good. I feel great. I can go to lunch. I can leave the office at 3 o'clock. I can show up to the office at 10. Again, Erica, finding those A buyers. And I know probably it wasn't a direct answer, but I think what I like to tell people is getting better at asking great questions will ultimately lead you to it.
Well, I was typing out to Erica this morning, and then I said, well, why don't we just hop on the call if you got time? Finding out what your buyers' motivations are critical, right? Yeah. So right now it sounds to me, Erica, that you've got somebody that's in the pipeline that doesn't have to move. That if the perfect storm happens, like I can find the right property that I really like, at a price that I don't have to overpay for, that's when I'm going to buy. And I like to find that information out right at the very beginning of a relationship so that I know whether or not I should be spending a lot of time with them. But if you know what their why is, like if there is a motivation, if it's like, okay, well, we're renting right now. We're not in a hurry, but we do have to buy within a year. That's a different story. That's a completely different story. So they are firmly ensconced in your pipeline. They should be there. That's where they should be, is you're just nurturing them. It's just figuring out exactly what kind of value you can provide them in the meantime while you're waiting for them to ripen on the vine, so to speak. Right. So, for example, if kids are an important thing for them and they've got kids in schools and things like that, sending them updates around schools, or, if affordability is an issue, talk to them about mortgage rates going up, or, different strategies, rent to own scenarios, things like that. So just look for different ways to be able to provide value while they're in your pipeline, so that when they do become warm, they're remembering who you are. But you're already doing all the right things. You're not relying on the one buyer to pay your mortgage. You've got 5 or 6 other contracts in play. It's you have all these different opportunities. So what, one of them is now 6 months out, 1 year out, maybe a never situation, and they might be under contract for the next 30 days, but who knows, they might not do anything for the next 6 months. If you know what their why is, you know exactly where to put them in your priority list, right? And that's the only thing that I would do, is I would really dig into a lot more into their actual motivations. And if it's we don't have to move unless it's the perfect storm, then they're just keep them in your pipeline, nurture them, provide them value the way they want to receive value, what's important to them. Next, find the next one that is 30 days.
Dustin, you said something, and Erica, this is a great question. And I was actually talking to Jay Martin on our real estate team in New Orleans about this. You asked them, if I find you, well, not when, okay, let's just restart. When I find you the perfect home, are you willing to buy it today?
That's a great question.
Okay, because then you could say, I will. Okay, so let's talk about what that means. And you can kind of lay it out. But, when I find you the perfect home, and I used to tell people that, it's not if I find you home, it's when I find you home. And if they're motivated in any form or fashion, and you find them that dream home, like you literally do a video text message, hey, Bob and Susie, I just found you the perfect home. Let's go look at it today. If they're willing to make that move and buy like that when you find that perfect dream home, then you can still work with them. I would. As long as they know and understand that. If you ask that question and verify that with them, that could be great for you, for sure. But you're doing it right. I mean, Dustin said, if you'd have answered, and I asked that question because when coaching agents, if you'd have said, no, Anthony, this is my one buyer, I'd be like, you know what, you got to go find more buyers. But you got a pipeline, and that's what this is all about.
Absolutely. Erica, you know what? I hope that helped. We're running you froze. So Erica, lots of love. I'm gonna unfreeze you. Look, she's unfrozen. So Erica, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate you contributing and having that discussion with us. That was awesome. And Anthony and I actually are jumping over to our team meeting right this second. We actually have a team meeting. Those of you who don't know, Anthony and I are building out the Homes and City, Homes and Beach brands internationally. We are now approved in Canada, United States, and in Mexico. We are hiring. We're looking for good, hungry, motivated, ambitious realtors that want to get paid 4 different ways, because it's so much fun to get paid once, but it's even more fun to get paid 4 ways.
Absolutely.
Fun. And guys, if you are interested, you want to learn a little bit more about the coaching, if you want to get some real high level coaching, some blueprints on how to build your business, how to grow your business, how to succeed as a realtor, if you're struggling, if you're frustrated, if you're looking for that leg up, that level up, we want to talk to you. Just go to megamomentum.team/coaching. We would love to chat with you tomorrow. We're actually digging into Instagram part 2. We're going to be doing Instagram 2, digging into that and helping you become that Instagram influencer to get those clients walking through the door.
Let's do it.
Let's
do
it.
Guys, have a good one.
All right. Ciao for now, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. Go crush it.